Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Renee, and welcome to another episode of Live Life You Deserve, where we talk real life and challenges and real solutions to help you live the life you deserve, even in seasons that feel overwhelming. Today, we're talking about caregiving, the role so many of us never planned for. I jokingly say they didn't teach us about this in high school, they didn't teach us about it in med school. It's the role that doesn't come with training, the role that changes everything: your time, your finances, your health, your identity, and your heart. Whether you are currently caring for a loved one with dementia, Alzheimer's, chronic illness, whether you're caring for a parent, a spouse, a child, or whether you're part of what we call the sandwich generation, caring for aging parents and supporting children, this episode is for you. And I also want to share something special. Many of you know my sister and I have launched Caring Forward, a platform dedicated to helping families, especially Black families, navigate caregiving with education, support, community, and hope. So, yes, we're going to talk about resources, but today we're starting with the heart of caregiving because acknowledgement is the first step towards healing. So, you don't wake up thinking, today I'm going to become a caregiver. It usually happens quietly. A doctor's appointment that suddenly feels serious, a diagnosis you never saw coming, a fall, a hospitalization, a moment where a loved one just isn't quite themselves anymore, and suddenly life shifts. You start managing medications, scheduling appointments, monitoring behavior and mood changes, balancing work, kids, home, finances, and now someone else's life and well being. And here's the truth: people don't talk about it enough. Caregiving is an act of love, but it is also an emotional earthquake. And too many caregivers suffer in silence. For us, it was a hospitalization. My dad went by ambulance to the emergency room after suffering a stroke, and that was March 24th of 2020. And life has not looked the same since. So let's talk about the reality, the emotional weight. You may feel guilty, exhausted, confused, angry, afraid, heartbroken, and all of that is valid. And sometimes you grieve someone who is still here physically, but not the person they used to be. That grief is real, so real. When you're dealing, especially with someone with Alzheimer's or any type of dementia, um, they really are not the person they used to be. And it's, for me, I know I try to remember, and it's hard. It's getting harder day by day. Um, but yeah, you really, it's, so many of my friends and family members have lost other family members, and parents and stuff. And I understand because even though he's here, thank you God he is, I still grieve for who was my guy that, dad, this broke, and he'd be here, Johnny, on the spot, even though I live 5 hours away and he'd come fix it. So, I miss that. The mental and physical toll: caregivers often don't sleep well. Sleep is so important, and maybe it's because of the MD behind my name, but sleep is so important, and I realized that a long, long time ago, and so I try not to play with my sleep. I My thing is what I realized very early on. Like I said, my dad had a stroke March 24th, 2020. I hired the trainer August 30th, 2020. That was my birthday present to myself. He came on my birthday, my 45th birthday, and I realized that if I wasn't in good shape, we were all not going to make it. So, because the last thing that I could do to my family was add another patient to the roster. Um, in the midst of my dad, like even before year one of us taking care of him, my mom had to have surgery, and then I had two patients, and I was by myself. My sister wasn't in Michigan yet. It was crazy. It was crazy, but I made it through because he never gives us more than we can handle, right? So yeah, you need to. I knew that I was going to have to take care of me because there wasn't going to be anyone to take care of me but me. So I knew that sleep is so important. So many caregivers often don't sleep well. They skip their own medical appointments, and I wasn't going to be that person either. And I'm encouraging the other caregivers in my life to please don't do that. They stop socializing. I've observed that as well. Experience burnout. I'm so grateful I do not have burnout, and I'm done everything in my power not to get burnout. Develop anxiety or depression. I didn't have a name for it, but I researched and figured out, and I didn't want to claim it either, but I was starting to have anxiety, and I figured out very early on how to handle it, and I'm really 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 serious about breathing techniques, and because everything gets thrown at me and they want me to say something and do something right now, and I can't do that. I have to pause or else I'm going to lose it. So I have to pause and breathe, count to 10. And the very first dementia caregiving class that we had, they talked about this. And I was the only one on the call that already knew because I had been practicing that already in my life because I knew that I was starting to have these anxious feelings. And then caregivers often feel isolated because, let's face it, not necessarily is everybody coming to help or even to visit. So it can be a very, very isolating. I'm very grateful to the people that do come and visit my dad, and then the people that have helped us. Oh my God, people that we did not know at all, complete strangers have helped us. But then, like my best friend, we were all busy, and she was kind enough to come sit with my dad for 5 hours. So yeah, just and here's what I tell caregivers as a physician. You cannot pour from an empty cup. What did I just say? This is why I take care of me. You cannot pour from an empty cup. And taking care of yourself is not selfish, it is survival. So most people know I work out in the morning. That's my time. So when I was in the house with my dad, no one could interrupt me during my time because that's my time. I have to work out. I have to exercise. I have to do that so that I can tackle the day and the night. It is so windy outside that I just hope that the windows don't blow in. My goodness gracious. But yeah, so the cultural layer, especially in Black families, this is important. In Black families, caregiving is often expected. We're taught you take care of your own. We don't put mama in a home. You'll figure it out. But no one hands us a manual, a support network, financial assistance, or even emotional space to say, this is hard. And then, of course, there's the historical mistrust of the healthcare system, which thankfully I am in my household. So, and plus, my mom is a medical professional as well. And so, because we know about the healthcare system, we don't have the mistrust that others have. Systemic barriers, of course, are there. Fewer financial resources, lack of representation in dementia education. I will tell you, all the dementia education I've had has been from white people. So yes, there's definitely a lack of representation, and it becomes even more complicated. That's why conversations like this are so very important, and they matter. I really, really, really want you to know that you are not alone, and let's normalize this. You can love your family deeply and still be extremely tired. You can be grateful and still feel overwhelmed. So you can have both feelings. Two things can be true. That's it. You can be strong and still need help. And you deserve support, rest, information, community, compassion. And that's exactly why we started Caring Forward, because too many caregivers are navigating in the dark. Caring Forward is about education, so understanding dementia, aging, and health decisions, guidance, practical tools and resources, emotional support, community, safe conversations, acknowledgement, and empowerment, helping families plan, prepare, and breathe. We want you to know you don't have to figure this out alone. You don't have to be superhuman. You don't have to sacrifice your entire life to care for someone else's. You can care for them and still care for you. And that's what it means to care forward, for caring forward. So, the practical first steps. If you're caregiving right now, start here. Acknowledging your role. Say it out loud. I am a caregiver. Naming it helps you access support. By the way, it's caregiver, not caretaker, because you're not taking from them. You are giving to them. They're taking from you, actually, but you're giving to them. You're a caregiver. Have real conversations. Talk with family, doctors, your loved one while they still can participate, and avoid denial. And knowledge is empowering. Build your support system. This might include family meetings, it might include support groups, faith community, your church, mental health support, caring forward resources. And most importantly, prioritize you. Schedule your checkups, sleep when you can, eat well, move your body, cry when you need to, laugh when you can. You matter. Let me tell you one of the other first things they said in our class. The caregiver usually dies first. And that's because they're missing the medical appointments, they're not sleeping well, they're forgetting to take their medication, all the things. I tell everyone all the time, because of the fact that I was the one that was distributing and making sure my dad took his had his medications and stuff, and I'm the one that makes sure he has his appointments. I said the man might outlive us all. So, because his stuff is on 10, like it's on point. He does not miss from head to toe. He doesn't miss a doctor's appointment. He goes to all of them. And so that's why, and I was like, well, as soon as they said that, they said, the caregivers usually die of a heart attack because they have high blood pressure because of the stress and they don't take care of themselves. And I said, nope, that's not going to be me. And so that was another reason that I had to lose weight, because I knew that, granted, I somehow got to 240 pounds at 4'11" and never had to take blood pressure medication, nor was I diabetic, nor did I have high cholesterol. I don't know by what miracle that was, but it was some miracle. God is good. But I knew my luck would run out eventually. And that was why I was like, we've got to get this under control, because you're going to be in big trouble. So I was like, nope, I am not going to leave my father to not have anyone to take care of him. I'm going to be here to take care of him. So please make sure you prioritize yourself, because you do matter. And it's so important, so important that you take care of you. So if you are a caregiver or will one day become one, this space is for you. On future episodes, we're going to go deeper into dementia basics, what to expect, financial planning, how to talk to the doctors, family dynamics, caregiver guilt, and how to build a sustainable life while caregiving. And yes, we will keep caregiving forward together. If this episode touched you, please like, share, comment, tell your story, tag someone who needs this, and stay tuned, because this is just the beginning. I'm Dr. Renee, and remember, even caregivers deserve to live the life you deserve. Your health is your greatest asset, so please protect it.